There's three things don't hang themselves: Christmas tree lights, drywall, and Jeffrey Epstein, as Senator Kennedy rightfully said. Here's a clip of Kash and Dan Bongino making fools out of themselves.
You know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself.
You know, for once, I find agreement with Alex Jones, especially in regard to that hostage video that FBI Director Kash Patel and FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino appeared in, where they declared that, no, it's simple. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't killed. It was definitely a suicide.
Yeah.
It was definitely right. Is that your one? Definitely a suicide. He killed himself.
But even your mockery of them was more human than what they looked like.
They look terrified.
They look terrified, and the hostage video is a great way of putting it. But they look like zombies, like they were somehow infected with a virus, and they're like, "No, we are fine. Everything is good." I almost wanted to take a picture with a flash on it and then scream, "Get out!" Right?
So. Basically, of course, this story has to do with the Epstein files, the Epstein tapes specifically, and this notion that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't killed, that he did in fact commit suicide while he was imprisoned. So why are Patel and Bongino so convinced that Epstein committed suicide? Well, let's see what they had to say.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Wait, what was the point about segregated housing? What?
Is there a lot of suicides by Israel? I mean, by anyone in segregated housing?
That was a crazy statement to make. But okay, I don't believe it. I personally don't believe it. Alex Jones doesn't believe it. So I guess we're both, tin hat conspiracy theorists. He says, overall, I think Kash Patel and Dan Bongino are doing a great job, but on this claim that Epstein's death is not a cover-up, I call BS. Now, the next day, Jones slammed Patel and Bongino on his show. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
It would take hours to go over how ridiculously obvious the murder of Jeffrey Epstein was in that federal jail in New York. I mean, the coroner said his neck was broken in 3 spots. It would take a gorilla to do that. And the cameras all turned off magically. You've seen the files. The files you were given? Give me a break. Why couldn't they just say they're investigating it? I mean, come on, guys. Come on, please.
And Alex Jones isn't the only one who's doubting that Epstein's death was the result of suicide. In fact, Tucker Carlson also called out Patel and Bongino during an interview with Sean Ryan, who's a former Navy SEAL and Blackwater contractor. Let's take a look at that.
Of course it's not a democracy. Of course the system is rigged. It's fake, because no matter who gets elected, you get the same foreign policy, you get the same economic policy, and the Epstein videos remain secret. So like that just shows you that our system has no effect on the actual system.
Wait, what are you talking about? I thought we could all sleep well at night now knowing that Epstein legitimately killed himself, right?
What was that?
Did that just come out?
It's just 2 guys that I really like. I mean, I love Bongino, but he's a friend of mine. But you weren't convinced by that? What do you think that was?
What do I think it was?
Yeah.
I think it was a blackmail operation. What do you think it was?
I think it was a blackmail operation run by the CIA and the Israeli intel services, and probably others.
I agree. Cenk?
Yeah. So first, Bongino says, no, it's okay, I've seen the files. Oh, well, that puts my heart at ease.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, as long as you saw them. No, brother, if you said that Epstein didn't kill himself before you went into government, and then you go into government and conveniently you become a zombie and you tell us that he did kill himself, you're gonna have to show the proof. You can't just say, trust me, bro. No, we don't trust you. We on the left don't trust you, and even your brothers on the right don't trust you, all right? Nor should they trust you. This whole don't worry about it is not gonna fly at all with anyone.
Especially as you're sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's okay. No, we are sure that he committed suicide and it was not Mossad. I mean, we're sure. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever, dude. So now, guys, why are we agreeing with these guys that we normally never agree with, right? Because this one's obvious. So why is it obvious? Now, if you're like, because there's a group who doesn't agree with us. And so those are the establishment folks, the mainstream media guys and stuff. Like they see conversations like this and they're like, oh, of course, Alex Jones and Young Turks. And Tucker Carlson, they think that he didn't hang himself, right? Okay, yeah, you can do that all you want. But I said it ahead of time. And here's what I mean by that, and it's on tape. I said the day that Epstein was killed, we were on the air, and I said, look, guys, I hear the guards were off and his roommate had been taken out. But if you're gonna commit suicide, you might take the opportunity when your guards have been taken out. And when you see maybe the guards are away, I don't know how he could see that, but maybe he saw it, and your roommate's gone, that's a good opportunity. So I said, the way we'll know is if the video in the hallway was working or not. If it was working and you see no one in the hallway, well then he hung himself. And so I mean, it seems unlikely, but that's what happened, right? If the video camera in the hallway isn't working, there's no chance he hung himself. It was definitely somebody killing him. And I said that before we found out about the video camera. And now we find out, oh, golly gee, not only were the guards asleep, and his neck was broken in 3 places, and his roommate had just been taken away, but the video camera, what a bad break, not working. No, you can look, if you're in the establishment and you're like, yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald was a lone shooter, I believe everything the government says. You know what, even though the Gulf of Tonkin we lied about to further inflame the war in Vietnam, I still believe that. I'll believe anything the government tells me because I'm an idiot, right? That's called mainstream media reporter, right? Me write for government. Me don't question nothing,
and
okay?
by the way, there have been muckraking reporters, okay? I mean, they've been buried, but muckraking reporters who have in the past done an excellent job on reporting on the evidence showing that Epstein was working with intelligence agencies, Mossad and CIA for sure. And what he was running was a blackmail operation to basically capture all sorts of politicians in compromising positions, if you will.
And how can you tell
on tape
who's been blackmailed? Well, look at anyone who's flagrantly in favor of Israel for no apparent reason, right? They're not in the State Department, they're not in the Defense Department, they're in rando departments or they're in rando districts in the Congress and stuff.
Yep.
And out of nowhere they'll come and they'll be like, genocide's not a big deal. And if you call anything a genocide, you're an anti-Semite. And you know what, we gotta arrest anyone who criticizes Israel. I wonder why you're saying that out of all the people in Congress and out of all the people in government. Curious, right? So again, mainstream media will cover up for all of this and say, no, golly gee, me have no brain. Me think that the video was a coincidence, okay? You can say anything you want, but the American people are onto you. Like, you're not gonna be able to contain this. Like the right wing, normally they will take their talking points in the old days as in like couple of years ago, and if Trump said something and Bongino and Kash Patel said something, it was over, right? Now, it ain't over. I mean, it's not just Tucker and them, it's all like the huge majority of the right wing's like, no, we don't believe you.
Yeah.
We don't believe you. The left wing doesn't believe you, the right wing doesn't believe you, soon the middle wing won't believe you. So you can keep yapping on television, and you can keep telling us all these nonsense lies, but we're never, ever, ever going to believe you. And they're never gonna present that fight. What do you think they're gonna be like? Oh yeah, it turns out Mossad's running the American government. And they look, Alex Jones, again, we disagree with 99% of what Alex Jones says, but he says something there about only state action is this powerful. And that's something I said earlier, which is, who do you think is a different version, but who do you think is powerful enough to kill someone inside a maximum security prison in America and have neither party question them. Neither the Republicans or the Democrats go open up a huge investigation, release the files, tell us what happened. I mean, not a peep about the investigation, right? Who's the only country that can get both Republican and Democratic politicians to do whatever they want? Norway, right? Maybe Peru. Gee, I wonder who it is. Okay, I know, unacceptable to say things that are super obvious. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.